Hello students. Today we are going to learn chapter number 13, Surface Areas and Volumes, part 9. In this part, we are going to learn about how to find the volume of a sphere and a hemisphere and some examples based on volume of sphere and hemisphere. Okay, so let us start it. So now, let us see how to measure the volume of a sphere. Okay, for that, now first take two or three spheres of different radii. For example, now this is our first sphere, second sphere, okay, and a third sphere. Now these three spheres are of different radii, okay, that is different radius. Now we need to take a container which is big enough to be able to put in each of these spheres, okay. So let us consider that this one is a required container, okay. Then we need to take a trough and then we'll keep this container in that trough in this way, okay. It can be seen over here. Now this is a trough, this one is our container. Now after that, what we have to do, we have to carefully place one of the spheres in this container. Before that, we have to fill this container up to the brim, that is up to the surface, with water, okay. After that, we will place first sphere in this container, okay. It can be seen that when you place this sphere in the container, the water from the container, it rises and it is collected in this trough, okay. After that, what we have to do, we have to collect that all water which is present in the trough, that is this part, into a measuring cylinder. Now this one is a measuring cylinder. After that, we have to just check that how much water is present in this measuring cylinder, okay. After that, we have to calculate a value, okay. Now we consider that the radius of this sphere is r, okay. Then we have to calculate one value, that is 4 upon 3 pi r cube, okay. When we calculate this value, okay, it can be seen that the value obtained by doing this calculation is equal to the volume of water present in cylinder, okay. Now the volume of water present in cylinder is equal to this value, and from where we got this water, so that volume is equal to the volume of this sphere which has displaced the water from this container, okay. So from all this procedure, okay, after that you have to consider the second sphere. Then again same condition, fill the container with water, keep it in trough, and then put the second sphere. Whatever amount of water is displaced over here, you have to see its volume and do this calculation, okay. Then take third sphere, again follow the same procedure. From all this procedure, we come to know that the volume of water present in the cylinder, sorry, the volume of water displaced or present in this measuring cylinder is equal to this value, where r is nothing but the radius of the sphere, okay. From that, we get a conclusion that the volume of a sphere is equal to 4 upon 3 pi r cube, okay. So here we get our formula for finding volume of a sphere, so that is equal to 4 upon 3 pi r cube, okay. Now, this was about sphere. Now let us see how to get the volume of a hemisphere. Okay, we say that hemisphere is nothing but a half part of a sphere. For example, suppose we have here one sphere. If we cut it from center, okay, from center plane, it can be divided into two parts. Okay, suppose this one is the first part and this is our second part. Okay, now each of this part is known as a hemisphere having same radii as that of the original sphere. Okay, now it can be seen that a hemisphere is formed by cutting a sphere into two parts. Okay, so let us now find the volume of a hemisphere. Okay, so now volume of a hemisphere will be equals to volume of a sphere upon 2. Now why upon 2? Because volume of a hemisphere will be half of the volume of sphere. Okay. Now what is the formula for volume of a sphere? So we know that one, 4 upon 3 pi r cube. Okay. So 4 upon 3 pi r cube divided by 2. Now this 2 will come over here. So in next step we get 4 upon 3 into 2 pi r cube. Now we can make some cancellation over here. Okay, that is 2 ones are 2 twos are. Okay, so finally we get that volume of a hemisphere is equal to 2 upon 3 pi r cube, where r represents the radius of the hemisphere. Okay, so now we are having two formulas, that is the volume of a hemisphere also and volume of a sphere also. Okay, so we get volume of a sphere is equal to 4 upon 3 pi r cube, and volume of a hemisphere is equal to 2 upon 3 pi r cube. Okay, now let us solve some examples based on this. Let us consider our first example. It is given that find the volume of a sphere of radius 11.2 centimeter. Now before finding this volume, let us look at this formula once again. In this formula, how many unknown values are there? So our first unknown value will be the volume. Okay, and second one is the radius. Okay, so we consider that out of these two values, if we have any one, we can find the second. For example, when we have the volume of the radius, sorry, when we have the value of the radius, we can find the volume, and when we have value of volume, we can find the radius. Okay, so now let us solve this example. So it is given that find the volume of a sphere of radius 11.2 centimeter. Okay, so now we are given with the radius. So given radius r equals to, let us consider it as a small r, equals to 11.2 centimeter. Okay, therefore now volume of a sphere equals to, we know the formula, 4 upon 3 pi r cube. Okay, so let us put the value of this r over here. So in next step we get that equals to 4 upon 3 as it is. Now value of pi depends on you. If any of the number is cancelling, prefer 22 upon 7, or you can go with 3.14. So we get 22 upon 7 into, now value of r is 11.2, since it is r cube. So we are writing 11.2 three times. Okay, after doing this all calculations, we get our final answer as the volume of a sphere equals to 5887.32 centimeter cube. Remember that we are finding volume, so here the power of unit will be cube. Okay, now let us consider our next example. Now here it is given that a hemispherical bowl has a radius of 3.5 centimeter. Again we are given with the radius. Okay, then what would be the volume of water it contained? Okay, so hemispherical bowl means it would be somewhat this shape. Okay, so now we have to find what is the volume of this hemispherical bowl. Okay, so given radius r equals to 3.5 centimeter. Now we know that what is volume of a hemisphere. So volume of a hemisphere equals to 2 upon 3 pi r cube. Okay, so in next step, we will put a value for this r. So we get 2 upon 3 into, again here this number can be cancelled by 7. So we prefer value of pi as a 22 upon 7. So we get 2 upon 3 into 22 upon 7 into 3.5 into 3.5 into 3.5. When we do our calculations, we get the final answer as the volume of a hemispherical bowl is 89.8 centimeter cube. Okay, so in this way we have learned how to find the volume of a sphere, how to find the volume of a hemisphere, and its derivation. Okay, so this much is enough for today. Thank you. Have a nice day.